I'm just Joe, and I've got too many movies. Maybe I should rewatch one. Okay, before I get started with the show, I have something I want to say, some kind of serious, so I gotta, I gotta calm down. So I got the tranquilizers here, and I'm gonna... Those work quickly. Almost like, fake quickly, almost like it does in the movies. Anyway, a little while ago, George Romero, a famous director who basically brought zombie films into the mainstream, passed away. He was a very revolutionary filmmaker, and he inspired many, many, many people, including myself and a lot of other famous filmmakers. His film Night of the Living Dead revolutionized film and, what it meant to go to the movies. And, of course, zombie movies. I don't want to say he invented it. I don't know enough about the genre to say that, but he, almost perfected what a zombie movie, should be, how entertaining it could be, and what exactly you need to do, the formula to make it good, which many people have copied. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, the original Dead trilogy. He also made Land of the Dead and a couple other ones like Survival of the Dead that weren't really too great. No offense, George Romero. But regardless, he did a lot for the movie industry, and he will be missed, and that's why I'm doing this video to pay homage to a great filmmaker. Okay, so let me get back into what the show was supposed to be. Hang on. Got my coffee here. There we go. Okay, so this is Too Many Movies Rewatched, where I rewatch movies from my collection that I really want to, to talk about or whatever. And today I'm going to be talking about Dawn of the Dead, the George A. Romero classic from the late 1970s. I'm going to rewatch it because, here it is. I'm lucky enough to have the Blu-ray. That's actually very, very rare nowadays, so I'm glad I picked it up. Thank you very much, Walmart, for having this on sale for like $8 when I got it. It was fantastic. So yeah, even though I've got a lot of movies, and I know he did Night of the Living Dead, also Day of the Dead, and it's a lot of other dead movies, a lot of dead people in his movies, a lot about the dead. He focused on the dead, not really about life. Well, a little bit about life. There are living people in these movies, but anyway, getting off track. But Dawn of the Dead. One of the most famous zombie movies ever made. Not the most famous. Night of the Living Dead is a little bit more famous, but Dawn of the Living Dead is definitely a close second. It's one of the greatest sequels ever made. I cannot wait to rewatch it. That's exactly what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go do it. I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about it, so I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so I rewatched Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, I rewatched it. I rewatched it. Let's get into my thoughts about it. So first, I'm gonna start with the what do I start with usually on this show? The plot / script. So the plot of Dawn of the Living Dead is basically this. There are 4 main characters, 2 police officers, 1 pilot, and 1 lady who worked at a news station. Basically, the world's gone to hell. There's a zombie apocalypse everywhere, and we kind of see at the very beginning in the news station and them talking about it, kind of giving us the facts about shooting them in the head and that they eat flesh. They're hungry. These dead people are hungry all the time. They're hungry, hungry people. They're like hungry, hungry hippos, except dead. They're dead hippos. That's not a very fun thought, but that's basically what they are. So, hungry, dead hippo people. That's what the world has been consumed by. Scary, scary thing. But these 4 people, those are the main people. They escape in a helicopter. They go. They fly, 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 and they come across this mall, and they, just kind of stop off for supplies, and they basically want to take over the mall because they figured, like, well, it's a mall. It's got a bunch of shit that we could use, so we're going to use it. So we're going to take over the mall. We're going to block off all the exits and the entrances, everything else, and we're going to kill all the zombies, and this is going to be our new home. And that's basically what happens. I mean, a part of the movie is just basically them just, just walking around and having a good time, but they got to take care of all the zombies. A lot of cool effects, a lot of gore and blood and all this other stuff. Revolutionary stuff, but it's about the survival of these main characters and, about the survival of the human race. And that's just like, kind of Night of the Living Dead, kind of the same thing. A little bit smaller cast, but it's in color this time, it's not black and white. And that's basically the plot. The script that George A. Romero put together, it's a solid script. Some of the dialogue is a little bit funky sometimes. It kind of reminds you a lot of the 70s of how people talked, and some of the characters aren't very well written. Like the woman character is not very well written. I didn't really like her that much. She kind of got better as the movie went along. But here's the thing. You find out, and it's not really a spoiler, but you find out that she's pregnant. Yet the whole movie she's smoking and she's drinking and stuff. I mean, my mom did that with me, and look how I turned out. I mean... So yeah, I didn't really like the female character. She's kind of weak. Like there's a moment where her boyfriend is trying to kill a zombie and the hammer's right there and she's right there and she won't go get it. I mean, she's not very well written. And in George A. Romero movies, the women aren't that well written until Day of the Dead. That movie was awesome, and the female character was awesome in it, but this is Dawn of the Dead, not Day of the Dead. If you read the title, you saw that. But yeah, she's not very well written, but the other three guy characters, they're pretty cool. Some memorable lines, like, we got this, man, we got this by the ass, and the three guys are pretty okay. The one guy, he looks exactly like Hugh Laurie, which I thought was really weird. I couldn't not see Hugh Laurie in this movie, and good God, would have been cool if Dr. House in this movie, but he wasn't. He wasn't Dr. House yet, and Hugh Laurie wasn't even really acting yet, but whatever. But the four main characters, that's really the characters in it. The actors, they do a good job. I mean, some people could say that the acting in this is a little bit not so great, and maybe it's not, but that kind of adds to the charm of the movie, because it's kind of like a B movie, except, well made. It's just a little bit better acted, and sometimes it is. But all four actors, I do enjoy them. The woman, not so much, but it's pretty good for the most part, and, a little bit hokey acting, but, it's not a bad cast. I enjoy the people, okay job. Next up, I'll talk about the characters less the cast. I kind of basically already went over that when I talked about the script. The characters are fine. I like the three male characters. The woman character is not really that great, but she's fine. The actors, they got to play them. They did a good job. So yeah, that's basically it for that. And that's basically the whole cast. There's some other funny little characters, with some of the bad guys, the bikers at the end, and some people in the news station, but that's really it. It's all about these four characters. The people who play the zombies are great. Not really much acting when it comes to that. They do fine. Special effects are cool. I keep bringing up special effects because special effects are really awesome in this movie. It kind of doesn't hold up with some of the blue makeup for the dead people. It's almost like what they would have used on Night of the Living Dead. It looked great in black and white. Even though you can't really see the makeup in black and white, but it made them look dead, if that makes any sense. But in this, it looks fake, but at the same time, it adds to the charm of the movie, because this movie is a charming movie. As weird as that sounds about a zombie apocalypse movie, it's like saying, hey, the Walking Dead show has a lot of charm in it when people, kill each other, and like with Lucille and the bat, and like, no. This movie just has kind of a charming, almost nostalgic feel to it, but, that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's probably right, because I'm usually right. I don't know, sometimes I'm wrong. But yeah, that's basically it for that. But moving on to the last but not least, the directing, editing, and the music. Hang on for a second before I move on. I need some more coffee. Obviously I need more coffee. I'm kind of slowing down a little bit, so I need more coffee. I got more coffee in me, so I'm sorry. There's just so many movies in my collection. I got to get through these really, really fast. There's a movie in the theaters I got to see, so I got to speed through. Okay, moving on. So George A. Romero does a really good job when it comes to directing in this. It's a lot of really cool shots. Weirdly enough, like a lot of cool shots of outside. About like the sunset or the sunrise, stuff like that. Like really, really pretty shots, really beautiful shots. He's inventive with the camera movement, just where he places the camera and certain things. Like I guess I really shouldn't say camera movement, because there's not really a lot of camera movement in this movie. It's just, just like where he places the camera placement in the movie, it's unique, and he's got a lot of cool angles and a lot of good stuff. So the direction in this is just fine. It's exactly what the movie needed. The editing is a little bit wonky, sometimes. George A. Romero, he edited this movie, and he does a great job, but it's just sometimes the edits are a little bit off. If he would take a tiny bit more time, it would look good, but at the same time, again, it adds to the charm of the movie, as weird as that sounds, where some, I don't call them editing mistakes, it's just where the editing is a tiny bit off, but that's okay. He's still, the editing, it does exactly what it needs, and sometimes the editing goes together really well, and the scenes are spliced together very well, so yeah, editing is fine. And the music is a little weird, the soundtrack is odd, but again, it fits because it was the 70s and George Romero's movies, they have odd soundtracks when it comes to the Dead movies, so but it fits it. It's odd, it's weird, sometimes comedic. The music can get really comedic, even the end credits, the music is comedic, but that's okay. And again, it makes sense for this movie, so it wouldn't be a soundtrack that I would add to my collection, but it fits for Dawn of the Dead, and I enjoyed it. So my final thoughts on Dawn of the Dead is basically this, is that Dawn of the Dead is still a classic. It still holds up after all of these years. Yes, maybe some things don't hold up, but it is still one of the greatest sequels ever made in movie history. I wouldn't put it on par with like a Terminator 2, but Dawn of the Dead does everything a sequel should do. It's bigger, it's better, it's in color. I mean, that's great. There's more blood, because you can actually see the blood this time. The effects are really cool. They wouldn't be perfected until like Day of the Dead, where they're amazing, and maybe one day I'll get to that. But Dawn of the Dead is still, it's good. It's a very fun movie. It's almost like a movie you'd watch on Sunday afternoon on TV, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like a movie you can kick back and relax and just watch it and enjoy it. You can immerse yourself into this world, into the characters, and especially like even when there's no more zombies, left for a little while. Again, no spoiler, it happens in the movie when they're in the mall and they're just kind of hanging out and doing stuff, hanging out at the mall. Which of us wouldn't want that? To be able to hang out in the mall all by ourselves with nothing bothering us, just doing whatever we want, taking whatever we want. That's cool. You root for these characters, and and you just want to see them be happy, and they are happy for a little bit, and it's really good to see until it all goes to hell in the end, which of course it does. It's a George A. Romero, zombie apocalypse movie. So, but I love Dawn of the Dead. I've been wanting to rewatch it, and yeah, I rewatched it because of George A. Romero's death, but I'm glad I rewatched it to remind myself of how wonderful he was, how innovative he was. Dawn of the Dead is still a fantastic, entertaining movie, one of the best zombie movies ever made. It's like the granddaddy of zombie movies. Without it, we wouldn't have what we have today. So I give Dawn of the Dead a Just Joe rating of 5 out of 5. So thank you very much for tuning in for my first ever edition of Too Many Movies Rewatch. You can watch Too Many Movies with Just Joe as well, Too Many Movies at the Movies with Just Joe. All the people, and it's me, I'm Just Joe, so I'm in all these videos. Look at all the description, in the description below this video for all the links and everything for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, podcasts I'm on, what were we talking about, it's fantastic. Everything I do is fantastic. So, yeah, so I'd say I might need some sleep, but obviously I got more movies to watch. So tune in every Friday. There's a new episode of Too Many Movies with me, Just Joe. So tune in for that, and I will see everyone in the next video. Sorry, more coffee. Take care. Quiet on the set.